This is a good one right here because I have had this happen to me countless number of times. So I'm speaking from experience and from observation. What tennis players do, what they do to maintain their status. And this isn't just their status amongst everyone else, it's the status in their head and it's the status out there in the community. And that could be, as an example, let's say they are an 11 UTR. See, back when I was playing tennis, we didn't have, that I can remember, or at least I wasn't aware of it, we didn't have UTR. So it was 5.0 or 5.5 or a college player or whatever was in their head they thought they were. What do tennis players do to maintain their status? Well, what they do is they'll play you. If they think, let's just say you're fortunate enough that they think you're good enough to play you, to play them one time. That's what this is. They will give you, they'll make some time out of their valuable, valuable life and their valuable time. They'll make time for you one, if they think you're good enough, one time and one time only, more likely than not. If you think about it, this is what pros do. This is what tennis is in general. So let's just take an example. You got a guy. Let's say he's a 10 UTR and you're a 7 UTR. He's a 5.0 and you're a 4.0 or a 4.5. Like I said, you have to be somewhat close in level. Like if you're a 5.0, if they're a 5.0 and you're a 4.0, they will not play you. And if they do play you, you better be sure it's going to be one time only. But let's just say you're 4.5, 7 UTR, 10, like that kind of difference, right? So you play them one time and you can clearly tell that it's competitive. It's competitive. You can return the ball. You win some points. You get some really close games, but the score is like 1-1 or 1-0. Or even 2-2, something like that. They will never play you again. And here's the thing about that people don't understand. If you played them again, it's quite possible that if you played them again, let's say you're that 4-5 and you play that 5-0 again, you might, the next time around, it might be 3-3. And the next time around, it might be 1-1. And then the next time around, it might be 4-4. And then maybe sometime in the future, the near future, in some cases, you might take a set off him. If you're improving, if you're learning from your experience, and let's say you have your skill set's really good enough, and you're doing some different things, and there's lots of things you can do. We're talking about that closeness and level. But why don't they do this? Because that's what would happen. That's what most likely would happen. And as I said, this is what tennis players in general do. If you think about it, they go from tournament to tournament, and they, and rightfully so. It's a totally different game, but in a sense, you go from tournament to tournament. They play you one time. Sometimes they end up playing a bunch of times. And again, but again, even there, you're let most of them are thinking, for the most part, I'm guessing that they're probably thinking, this guy's on my level. Let's say we're both 12 UTRs, etc. But I'm just telling you what happens in your local community. Okay, these guys would rather, a lot of these guys will pay pros to practice with before they play someone, let's say they're a 5.0, before they play a 4.5. Every time. Even though if they would play that 4.5, that guy would get better, and they have a pretty good practice partner. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that for some reason. And here's the reason. They're protecting their status. That's what they're doing. They're protecting their BS rating. Because that's what it is. It's BS. And see, some people might say, let's just take the example, 11 UTR and like an 8 or 9, and you might look at them. And this might be true in a lot of cases. They might look at them and say, oh, there's no way. There's no way that guy's, it doesn't matter how many times he plays him, blah, blah, blah. He's never going to get to an 11, etc., etc. In some cases, you're wrong. Absolutely wrong. That's how people get better. That's how people get better at tennis. it's not how people think they get better. In a lot of cases, this is how they get better. They play different players. They play different players multiple times, and they learn. People learn. That's how tennis players learn. And again, we know all the ones they're the highest UTR, the best players, they are spending a lot of money to get experience. I'm telling you right now, the countless people that have played me one time or never played me, that could debatably say they avoided me. If I played them 10 times, let's just call it 10 times. Oh, yeah, that's too much. That's too many. No, it's not too much. If I played them 10 times, some of them maybe 5 times, I would take a set off them. If not, maybe even win the match. And I can guarantee you I'd win the match in the future, years later. So that's my experience. They're absolutely protecting their status. This is what they do. This is what happens in life. This is what people do in life. All of them. 90%. It's at least 80. At least 80% of people go about their day. The things they do, the choices they do, the people they interact with is all about protecting their status.